All right, welcome back to episode 6 of Ars Cryptotica. Tonight we have a special guest, Brian from the Uptick Project. Thank you very much for joining us, Brian.
Thank you, John. Thank you for having me here.
How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm pretty good. I'm ready to talk with you.
I'm excited because I've heard you talk before, but it's always you don't have that much time allotted to talk. So hopefully tonight you can relax and just really get into the Uptick Project.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, it's a relaxing time right now. So let's get started.
Okay. So how about your background? You have quite an IT background. What do you want people to know about your background?
Actually, I can call myself an internet veteran. So I started my career in late 90s in Silicon Valley. So that was the early stage of internet stuff. So I started a company called RivalWatch in late 90. It's a 1999 in Silicon Valley. So it's an internet data analysis company. So actually, like Amazon, those e-commerce sites were our customers. So after several years, so I went back to China to started another business called LinkTone with my partners. So it is a service, wireless value-added service company in China. So at that time, just you remember early days, people use short messages to vote, right? Just like American Idol in US. So we have a Supergirl show in China. So we participated that one. So it's pretty phenomenal in China. So everybody grab a cell phone to vote for their favorite stars. And that one actually luckily went to NASDAQ quickly because of the market momentum. And after that, I started another company with my colleagues in China. So it's a healthcare management company. So yeah, so I just keep doing things. So during the gap between that startup and my current startup, I worked for Microsoft MSN China. So it's a Microsoft Internet Service, localization and product operation branch in China. So after that, I started my own company called Star Media in Shanghai. So focusing on the social media marketing. So in the past 4 years, we started our new venture in blockchain business. The reason we try to do that is we just feel, okay, Web 3.0 is coming. So because, in the current internet web space, all platforms are the monopoly, right? They're controlled by big names. So all people, they don't have their freedom to manage their own data and monetize their own data in that platform. So that's the purpose we try to do something in Web 3.0 era. The blockchain technology provide a very good technology infrastructure to enable us to do something in this space. Yeah, that's why we are here. So today, probably we're going to talk about the Uptick Project. It is the project we started in late 2018. So it has about 4 years history. So we try to commercialize it this year. Yeah, that's my brief background.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. So you've been working on the Uptick project for about 4 years, yeah? But it was just this last year you tried to monetize it.
Yes.
Well, what does the name refer to? Tick is ticket?
Yeah. I think you guessed that way. Yeah, that's right. So in late 18th, that was the early stage of NFT. I would say most people know the CryptoKitty, right? And the ERC 721 standard born during that time. So we were thinking about to use NFT to solve the ticket market problem globally. because that's the best way to represent a unique ticket, especially for those live show, right? So it's a very with the scarcity. So we want to minimize the middleman and connect the performer and the buyer, fans and the organizer together. So that was the original name came from. So yeah, they're including some ticket. So we'll just play on the words. So we also mean to represent an uptick in positive change in the space. And also we think this applies to any product we try to release, not just tickets. So basically we're looking to create an uptick of positive change wherever we focus is, right? Leaving the old world behind and do our part to contribute to the paradigm shift. That is the decentralization. Yeah, so that's the history of this name. I like it a lot.
Yeah, it's cool. I was looking at the website. I guess Uptick is mainly an app, but you do have a website that people can go to download the app. And on that website, there's a picture of a smartphone with a bunch of logos. I can understand most of the logos, but other than ticketing, what else currently is available, and what do you have planned for the future?
Yeah, you find the right picture over there. Yeah, that implies our roadmap, basically. So currently, as you can see in the Uptick app, you can play with the pictures, right? So we call it digital collectible cards. So basically, we cover two types of NFT in Uptick right now. So one is called a collectible NFT. It's a digital collectible cards. The second part is a functional NFT. It's a e-ticket. But in that picture, you can see we're going to expand to more vertical categories. So currently, like it's a picture-related stuff. And then we will enable the music, the sound-related stuff. So sound NFT. And then we will also expand to the video clip NFT, including the ebook and a lot of stuff. So basically, all these items has the common attributes. They belong to the creative community, right? So whoever creates stuff like a picture, a special music, a video, or even writer to write an ebook. So they need to have the ownership confirmed in the first place in the blockchain. So that's why we call it a creative economy. So we are in the early stage of this kind of creative economy. So as you can see in the past half year, the whole world is, I would say, pretty crazy about crypto art. So that's a typical product of the creative community. So that's why, so in that picture, you can see a roadmap. We want to cover all type of creative works, no matter it's a picture to the multimedia rich content. So yeah, that's the purpose we build Uptick for.
Hey, one of the icons looks like there's a guy with a heart. Do you have something healthcare related planned?
Well, so it's not really healthcare related, but it can be basically that implies the fans economy. So basically, you like someone, you like your artist, you follow your movie stars, actors. So that means something you like. So that's the fans economy we imply.
I see. I haven't heard too much talk about it recently, but I thought a while ago I heard people saying that NFTs were going to be used for like tokenization of stocks or proving ownership of real estate, or even like for ID purposes. But I haven't heard much about it in the since everybody has been talking about the digital art. Is that something in the pipeline, or is that totally different?
Well, of course, that exactly we try to do. Currently, a lot of people feel NFT equals to crypto art, but that's not true, right? So crypto art is, I would say, pioneer category in the NFT space, but it's just a small categories. So there's a lot of stuff we can do. Basically, NFT, right, means a non-fungible token. We can use this kind of format to tokenize everything, basically, no matter it's a digital native or something can map to our real world. So basically, it's a certificate, you can see, right? So it's a unique certificate represent some property rights. So it can be a ID, it's an ownership, it's a receipt, it's a ticket, whatever you can name it. So I think right now people already started to explore more usage space of NFT other than crypto art. So that's also something we try to do, because we are building this mobile platform. It's not a typical platform for artwork, but it's a good platform for the digital collectible cards. It can be sports cards. It can be a restaurant membership card. It can be an e-ticket, right? It can be something like that from the designer or including the music or video I mentioned earlier. So there's a lot of format that can be tokenized into NFT format, including the domain name. So domain name is one special category that can be used by NFT format very, very well. So actually, we are going to add it into Uptick very soon.
Can you briefly get into that? I've been following the Unstoppable Domains. They have quite a bit of marketing. Is it something like that, or is it?
Yeah, it's something like that. So in the blockchain space, you also need to have a short name, right, or a alias name to represent a long address. Just like in Ethereum, they have an ENS, Ethereum name service. Basically, it's like a subdomain. It's, for example, Ethereum.something. So with this name, it's an NFT. So inside this NFT, there's a lot of metadata attributes. We can set it up. For example, it can include your BTC address, your ETH address, or any information we can put into that. So in the future, so this is a unique name in a certain blockchain economy, right? So whenever I type, for example, if I type John, I will send a token to you. I don't need to remember anything about the long name, long address. So, and also this kind of name, just like our traditional domain name, .com. So it's really unique, right? So once you have it, nobody else can have it. So it's unique. It's with a very absolute scarcity. So then it has a huge value to trade in the secondhand market. Yeah, that's a typical NFT we can play with.
How far away is that? Is that coming out soon?
Well, it's already in the market. Actually, we actually built a similar marketplace last year in a Ethereum technology. We already have it in place. It's a domain name exchange center. So actually, probably when we had time, we were going to integrate into Uptick to add this vertical category.
I was checking some of your materials, and one line I wanted to get more information about is Uptick Protocol works with most layer 1 blockchains which have NFT support. Can you give some examples of that or explain more?
First, let me explain the architecture of this Uptick project. So currently, you can see it's like a mobile app, right? So it's in application level. It's an application, but there's just like it's an iceberg above the water surface. So there's a strong supporting infrastructure underlying. So that's why we have 3 layers of this project. The top layer is the application layer. The middle layer is we call it Uptick Project, Uptick Protocol. basically, Uptick Protocol is a business level NFT infrastructure, contains everything. For example, how to manage the digital asset of an NFT digital asset, how to package the scenarios, different scenarios. For example, ticket, for example, membership, and crypto art. So they are all different attributes in different categories. And also we also include the storage hub, because there's an off-chain data represent a specific picture of an NFT. It should be stored in some place very securely. So we connect to different storage providers, including something we built by ourselves. So it's a storage hub connectors. Of course, there's a token economy model. So we can build incentive and also governance model to build around this NFT economy. So there's a lot of stuff we package them into a Uptick protocol. So this actually simplifies the developer in the application level. They don't need to understand anything about blockchain. They just use their regular tools and call the APIs from the Uptick protocol to build their NFT application. So beneath this Uptick protocol is a layer 1 blockchain. So that's just like a Cosmos hub, Iris hub, Ethereum, and the coming Polkadot, Kusama. So all these we call it layer 1 technology. It's a base infrastructure of blockchain. So we are not going to build such layer 1 by ourselves. We want to focus on the protocol level and the application level. That's why we want to be friendly to all kind of layer 1 blockchain, because we want to use them to run our protocol and the application. So in the layer 1, you can see we are currently running our protocol on Iris Hub, which is in the Cosmos ecosystem. At the same time, we also want to build the connector to Ethereum, because in the future, we believe that the digital asset, NFT digital asset, should be transferable and interoperable between different blockchain economy. It should not be just in single blockchain and a single economy. Yeah, that's our architecture here.
That's great. Any idea how much longer before it becomes a bit more interoperable? Is that like years away, or?
Yeah, I think in next 6 to 12 months, there's a lot of great things will happen. In our roadmap, probably in Q3 of this year, you will see the first NFT asset can be transferred between Cosmos Hub and Iris Hub, basically in the Cosmos ecosystem. So because we are working closely with the IrisNet team, which is also a key contributor to the Cosmos SDK, Tendermint engine. So we are working together. They are building the lower level stuff, and we are using that to build our protocol and the application. So yeah, by end of the year, you can see the asset will be transferable and interoperable. At the same time, we are going to build a bridge, connect to the Ethereum or any other blockchain who is using the Ethereum technology. So yeah, I think by end of the year, you can see something like this in our application.
I'm trying to envision it. So would it be like some sort of aggregator pulling NFTs off of, different platforms, or would people take something from the app, the Uptick app, and then they'd have to send it to some sort of like coin swap exchange to do the interoperability?
What you guess is right. So that's one strong use case we need to build, which is the aggregation. And also, basically, we want to transfer the NFT asset into different blockchain economy. And also, we try to grab the data from different blockchains to just like a total dashboard to see the status of the different NFT assets, aggregate everything into one place, into one application. At the same time, we also want to build the capacity to just one-click launch or publish to multiple blockchain economy. If, for example, if you want to publish a digital collectible cards, not only on the Cosmos Hub, Iris Hub, but also on Ethereum. So we want to provide a very simple and easy to use tools and utilities, help user to do that in one click. Because by doing that aggregation, and so we can also help the NFT asset to share the global liquidity, right? So because for example, I can create my NFT ticket in Iris Hub because it's the performance and the gas cost is very low. But at the same time, I want to transfer to, for example, OpenSea. There are more people, more traffic over there, so I can maybe sell with a better price. So in the future, in my vision, is NFT asset should be able to flow into the different economy, which can maximize its value.
Why don't more people know about the Uptick project? Are you holding back on the marketing, or it's not a priority right now? It sounds amazing.
Yeah, we are getting started. In most projects, they're making big voice in the market even before they have the product, right? So that's the typical blockchain project. But in our case, as I mentioned earlier, we already have 3 to 4 years history of this project. So we try to really incubate it and make it be a business-ready app and launch it to the market. In fact, we launched the first public beta version in early March of this year. We want to see the response from the community, but at the same time, we know no matter how good we build this application right now, there's still a gap between the massive adoption and the usability part. That's why we are not in a very hurry to promote to the massive general public, because we know there are some limitations here. For example, for the token part. So we want user for public chain version of Uptick, we want everybody with any token can place order in Uptick. So that's why we're building something like a token swap behind the scene. So before that's ready, so we don't want to rush to the market and to give people the wrong expectation. But you are right. We need to speed up the marketing efforts. So, I put it in several stages. From March to now, it's more like a cold start in the community. We work with our community to test it out, to find the core users, typical users, and also optimize the application to, for example, in the current application where we don't really categorize all the contents. We want to see how it grows, what type of contents, no matter it's from artist, designer, or somebody else, maybe it's just a photographers. So we are still tuning this application into the best situation right now. But from now on, in June, we are going to launch several typical type of marketing campaign. For example, we were going to launch a Maya story in the middle of June, so which is a very famous Mexican restaurant in Shanghai. I work with the owner, Miguel, together. So we are building the NFT membership card. At the same time, we're building the in-store, in-restaurant events ticket, because there's a lot of meetup, gathering, party over there. So, and we try to link this kind of membership card and the event ticket together. So that is something we're trying to build the use cases, typical use cases. This will be our second round of global marketing material. And then we were going to open up to the general public. Yeah, so we have a 3-step approach. Maybe we are pretty conservative in your view, but I think that's the best way to deliver to the market and with the right expectation. Especially we're not just targeting at a crypto community. We want to target at a general public. So based on my experience in the past, a good internet application should go this way. It will be very solid and it will be sustainable.
With the Maya Mexican restaurant, I'm curious what the owner wants to achieve. It's just a membership to get discounts, or it's like a point card, or you can't say too much right now?
I can share some right now. So yeah, it starts from the membership card. And of course, with membership card, there will be points associated with that. But in general, so maybe on the surface, you don't see big difference, right? From this card and that centralized system membership card. So that's not the real purpose. We try to just kind of reinvent the wheel, right? to play with the same use case. The real focus is by using such NFT card and the events and the coupon and the points, we are building a decentralized CRM and testing it with the merchants, with the stores. In the current Web 2.0 space, all these kind of service e-commerce, whatever, it's controlled by the central platform. The CRM, customer relationship management, or in the entertainment world, it's a fans economy, fans relationship. So we are trying to use this D app to rebuild such a CRM, which is a decentralized CRM, which means the store owner can have direct control on their customer base, on their fans base. They have a direct connection, direct messaging capability. So it's not controlled by the platform. It's all on the blockchain, in the protocol level. Yeah, that's the purpose to do that.
Speaking of points, I use the Uptick app a lot, and I guess a month or 6 weeks ago, you introduced a point or reward system. Could you explain a little bit about that, how it's going, and plans how that'll be used in the future?
Oh, sure. The point system is you can compare it with the token economy model we try to build, because currently we're not issuing the token yet. So that's why we build a point system instead to let user to participate. For example, the point system is basically the incentive system for the user. When you try to mint a NFT asset and list it in the marketplace, or you make purchase, or you resell it in the secondhand market. So all these activities means you are making contribution to this decentralized platform. So then we will give you some points, which is quantified by your contribution. So, and you can imagine maybe in 1 or 2 months when we really issue the token, which is public tradable token, all these points can be replaced by those tokens. Just like, last year, Uniswap, right? If you remember, DeFi, Uniswap. The first round, they don't issue any token. They just let you call the smart contract to make the trade, exchange, swap. But after a while, all the activities actually are already recorded on the blockchain. So they can easily airdrop the Uni token to you, which is also considered as a big rewards to the early contributors. So that's why we build this point system, no matter the token is ready or not. On the other side, we want to make sure this Uptick platform, Uptick application can be used in all market, all regions in the world. right? So that means in some regulated region, maybe they are not allowed to use a virtual cryptocurrency to make purchase or to do the incentive. At the same time, well, we just use a point system to replace that mechanism. So that will be useful for the regulated market. So basically, the point system and the token economy are the same in our mind. So we use it to give people incentive, and also people can use it as a governance tool, right, to do the DAO type of community governance. Yeah, so that's the purpose of the token system and the point system.
That's super clear. So I've used the Uptick app quite a bit. It's lightning fast. It's really cheap to use. You know, there's no huge Ethereum gas fees. But I was thinking the other day, how do you guys make money? Is it a commission, or what's the business model?
Yeah, so basically this platform, we make money from commission. So currently, as you can see in the application, there's first-hand market and also second-hand market. In the first-hand market, the platform will take a 10% cut as a platform service commission. So in the second-hand market, the platform will take 2.5% and also take 7.5% back to original content creators. So yeah, that's the business model we're running right now. And of course, the percentage, the number of such percentage will be optimizable. That's why we have this token governance model building the application. So people in the future, the community can vote for the optimized parameters, right? The numbers for this profit share or commission cut.
I was wondering if you had any comments as to why you chose to use IrisNet from the beginning. Is it because it's better than everything else, or you had some relationship with the team, or is there anything you have to say about starting up with IrisNet so early?
Yeah, of course. So IrisNet, I would say the whole Cosmos ecosystem, they're very low profile in the market. So IrisNet is one of the key contributor to the Cosmos ecosystem. I know their founder, Harriet, very well. So we are actually from the same university. So I trust they are building very solid technology in Cosmos ecosystem. Actually, their team is a key contributor to the Tendermint team, so which is the very fundamental part of the Cosmos ecosystem. That's something I'm looking for, to have a very solid layer one infrastructure to support the business I want to run. So that's the original motivation to talk to them and work with them. On the other hand, they also find our value, because they saw we have almost a business-ready application, try to run the business. That's something they're really looking for, because all the layer one blockchain and project they're looking for to grow to ecosystem, right? So I don't think people are looking for some just stuff for the public demo. They want to see the real business running on top of that. That's also our target. So that's something bring us together. At the same time, IrisNet, because they are the key contributor to the Cosmos ecosystem, last year they built the first NFT module in the infrastructure level. That's the first NFT module in Cosmos ecosystem. So that's why our Uptick is the first application running on top of this NFT module. So I would say that's probably the only one and the first one in the Cosmos ecosystem. So in the future, another key value we want to looking for is IBC, which is called inter-blockchain communication. This is the key feature of Cosmos infrastructure, right? Cosmos claim and their vision is to build the internet of blockchain, which is interoperable, intertransferable between different blockchain economies. The key part is the IBC, inter-blockchain communication. So that's why we also like to work with IrisNet to be the first user of this technology. That's why I say probably by Q3 of this year, you can see the first NFT asset transferred through IBC in Cosmos and IrisNet ecosystem. And another one is we work with IrisNet together in a global organization called internft.org. This organization is a community from different public chain team, especially from Cosmos team. They are building the data standard for the NFT metadata, because metadata is the place to describe the attributes of this NFT asset. It can be a show ticket, it can be a membership card, it can be a collectible stuff. So without standard, it's difficult to transfer the asset to another, say, wallet or application and be recognized over there. So that's why it's really important. We're looking for the solid layer one technology. We're looking for the forward thinking, right? Inter-transferable, interoperable technology. At the same time, we want to contribute and work with the standard organization to make sure the digital assets can be standardized and last forever in the future. Yeah, that's the story with IrisNet.
Yeah, I knew Uptick was going to be big, but you're blowing my mind. And at the beginning of this interview, you mentioned Polkadot too, right? So at some point, that'll be all interoperable with Cosmos and.
Yeah, that's really my vision and my dream. So we will start from make it intertransferable, operable in Cosmos technology-powered system first. At the same time, we are going to build a bridge to the Ethereum ecosystem. Of course, the Polkadot is also my major focus, because they're not ready yet, right? So they're going to probably launch by later this year when they open up to the parallel chain auctions. So because we are running the business class application, we are serving the real business. So that's why we are not rushed to into that yet. We want to see it be established. Then we can step in and connect to that. Because we are also evaluating like the XCMP, right? It is the inter-chain protocol of Polkadot. So in the future, I think all these stuff in the protocol level can be connected, can be interoperated. So that's my purpose. I think if you consider Uptick, maybe after 3 or 5 years, it can be a super Amazon store, right, with all kind of NFT assets. But behind it, it might come from different blockchain economy. So it can connect to different economy, blockchain economy. At the same time, users should have the freedom to move their asset into between different blockchain economy to the place wherever they want to store their assets or they want to use their assets. Yeah, that's my dream.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I'm a big Amazon fan. I mean, at least I can get cheap stuff delivered quickly. And I like the way they organize, how to find things on there. You said Uptick is still kind of evolving on how to classify things, but when it gets to Amazon size, you'll have to have a system like them, I guess, right?
Yeah, so, compared to Amazon, so I always tell a story to my friends or my partners, say, if we shoot back 20 years, right, back to the late 90s, that was the starting phase of Amazon. At that time, what do we have? We have books, we have CDs. Those are very standard items. in Amazon e-commerce site. The reason we have that at that time is infrastructure is not really ready for more complicated assets. Right? At the same time, even the payment system is not ready. So a lot of things are moving on in parallel. But after 10 or 20 years, what you see in Amazon, they have everything, right? They have all the different categories. And also they have even AWS opened up to the public because their infrastructure is evolving very quickly. So I think from now on, we can see the same trend, same pattern for this Web 3.0 decentralized application and infrastructure progress. But it might be evolving very fast. We don't need 20 years, maybe 3 to 5 years, we can see the basic shape of the next generation of a decentralized commerce infrastructure.
One thing I wanted to ask you about was why you were so focused on the mobile native app. I think it's a great idea, but I haven't heard any other people, expressing how important it is compared to Uptick.
Well, that's a very good question. So the reason I'm really focusing on mobile first is we really want to target at general public and also make it very user friendly. Currently maybe you don't have a PC, right? You don't have a Mac, but you must have a cell phone in your hand. So, and the smartphone is like a standard equipment of everybody. So most people use it to do a lot of stuff. So we need to have this terminal first. At the same time, the difference between Uptick NFT and other NFT, or I would say most other NFT are still focusing on crypto art, very detailed crypto art domain. By doing the art, they need to have a better, I would say, terminals to display it, right? To make the visual effect, to have the high definition, high resolution stuff available. But on the mobile, we are not running the typical crypto art, but we are open up to the design community, musician, or any type of creators. And we believe everybody is a creator, right? Creative person, no matter in which space. Even when you take pictures, right? You are a photographer to capture a special moment. And also on the cell phone, because you are bringing it with you, it's an on-the-go scenario. Any time, any moment, you can capture it and publish it to the Uptick marketplace, or even just publish to your own collection wallet. So just imagine, some people in our community said, oh, this looks like a decentralized Instagram at this moment, because it's not limited to the content, and it's not limited who can be the publisher. Everybody can participate. That's why we are doing this to C approach, to consumer approach. That's the only way I think we can acquire massive users and make it visible to general public. In the current NFT or even blockchain application space, people are all looking for the real application can penetrate into general public. It's not just a toy or very limited usage application in the crypto community. So there is a war between the crypto community and the general public. So we want to break it. I think the mobile first approach is the best way to try it out. Of course, we want to build a website, web version as well, but it's a second priority right now. But we will build it. You will see it very soon.
I tried to introduce some friends, some artist friends, analog artist friends to Uptick, and they were interested. They're a bit skeptical. They don't have any cryptocurrency, but in the end, what should I say? The obstacle was buying Iris, so that, of course they have smartphones and it's really easy to use the app, but try to, instruct them how to buy Iris in order to mint stuff on the app. It was just too big of an obstacle, and I ended up having to help them out, or they just said no.
Yeah, I agree.
So are they going to be able to buy it on the app pretty soon?
Yeah, I agree. So, but currently we don't offer the direct buy Iris capability, but we will refer people to some place they can buy. One thing probably you see or don't know yet. So there's a DEX, decentralized exchange tool available in Cosmos ecosystem right now, which is called Gravity DEX, and also Iris Net. They also launched a coin swap tool. So we will try to talk to them and integrate them into an Uptick wallet. So that's the way to expand to more token holders, not just only Iris token holders. That's the first step. The second step is we are actually work with some token swap project, pretty mature project in Silicon Valley. So in that way, any people with any token, they can directly purchase order in Uptick. So behind the scene, we will do the token swap, token exchange that probably is invisible to the user. So in that way, it will cover almost all type of people who ever own their own tokens. And that's not enough. So as I mentioned earlier, so in some regulated market, we also want to offer them the fiat gateway payment. Just like 3 days ago, we launched a consortium blockchain version on BSN in China. So people can still buy and trade NFT asset, just collectible cards and a ticket. But on top of the market, they use fiat to pay it. So that's a very regulated market. So we can do that without any hurdle by using virtual crypto tokens. So basically, we want to make sure in the future, like the payment module of Uptick can provide all kind of options to the users. And also the application can basically turn on, turn off different options based on the regulation of the target market.
It's moving quickly. That's about all the questions I have for you, Brian. I was going to ask if, people want to invest in the project, or if you're looking for investors, or if you have a message to people who want to try out the app, or did I miss anything?
Yeah. So I guess maybe I can talk about the investor part. Mm-hmm. So I would say this is the leak of the news to you in the first place. Probably in 2 days, we will make an announcement to the market. So we just closed first round of fundraising by last weekend. So we have got a very strong support from 5 very, well, I would say, pretty reputable institution investors. The first one is called the Dragon Rock, which is a crypto partner fund from the Dragon, which is a pretty famous fund from Silicon Valley.
Can you say that name again? Draco?
Called the Dragon Rock. Yeah, Dragon. Yeah. So the second one is Tendermint Ventures. Well, from the name, it's very strategic investment from Cosmos ecosystem, Tendermint Venture. Mm-hmm. And the third one is SNZ. SNZ is a very, I would say, famous crypto investment fund globally, and also especially in China. They've invested almost all famous project in the past 4 or 5 years. So we get their strong support. And the fourth one is the Iris Foundation. Of course, by default, they support us. They want to grow with us together. And we also have a good investment from a Pre-Angel Fund, which is a very famous fund in China. So it covers a lot of early stage angel investors. And the reason we choose them is it's not just for money, but also the wide connection to all the projects they invested can be our future ecosystem partners.
Nice.
Yeah, that's the 5 investment fund we just secured.
Congratulations. Nice. So with that, what's the plan? What are you going to do with all those investors' support? Just build more stuff, or?
Well, of course, it will help us to make our product development team more solid. As I mentioned, it will, we really want to have the web version as well. It will help us to speed up, right, the process. We still maintain the good quality. So that's one. The second part is it will help us to speed up the global marketing and basically, just like you mentioned earlier, why not marketing? Why keep so low profile? So that's that. The investment part is also a key to that. With more resources and more monies, we can do it in the global space with a very aggressive way. You know, my feeling is I talk to a lot of crypto funds and investment funds. So the reason talk to them is not just getting money from them. It's about making friends with them, because they are helping us to connect to different corner of the partners, right? So with this first round closed, it's actually enable us to talk to them with a better position. So that's why in June, you can see more and more interesting campaign happening.
If other people want to invest, you don't have your own coin right now. You can accrue points by using the app. Is there going to be a way for other people to invest, or is that not possible?
Well, basically, for the public blockchain version of this project, it will be the token, right? So we are actually going to issue the token very soon. So that's the way to invest. So currently, we are in the first round. Then we are open up this private round to more people and more crypto funds. So yeah, we will do it step by step. But for every step, people can participate. Just like do the token exchange or whatever, or making the contribution to earn the tokens. Yeah.
Nice. Exciting times. Okay. Anything else you want to mention before we go? How people can follow you or contact you, or any other information?
Yeah, people can follow me at my Twitter, Brian Xin, and also our project is Uptick Project, the full name in Twitter. So we also have our Medium published channel and also Telegram group. The most important part I want to mention here is because we want to speed up. As you can see, we have a lot of things in mind. Actually, it's well designed, well planned in past 3 to 4 years. We really want to speed it up. So that's why we want to talk to different people in different community, different countries. That's the way to grow up the community in the very fast path. So yeah, please join us. I'm pretty open to any people who want to work with us. And this is a community project. We want the community have the voice on that and move together and also enjoy the token benefits from that. Nice.
So I'll put links for all of the contacts you mentioned in the show notes. And I wanted to say before we end, thank you very much for your time, Brian. I've learned a lot of things, and it's a really exciting project. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Yeah.
Take care.
Yeah, take care. Have a good night.